Gusto mo mag-travel abroad kasi flexible ka na bilang freelancer pero sa totoo lang ay natatakot ka sa immigration? I totally get you. After all of the horror stories na nangyayari sa immigration ngayon, nakakatakot naman talaga. Yung tipong may ticket ka na, kompleto ang documents mo, pero nanginginig ka pa rin sa pila kasi baka ma-offload ka. Actually, I still feel the same with you. Kahit frequent traveler na ako, ganyan pa rin naman ang nararamdaman ko. Kaya let's talk about it kasi minsan, hindi lang documents ang dala natin. Dala rin natin yung kaba at minsan trauma sa mga horror stories na nangyayari sa immigration. Hi, I'm Jomar and welcome to my channel, Jom or A Journey of Me. So sa video na ito, pag-uusapan nga natin ang mga common questions na tinatanong sa immigration. This could be a good way for you to get a hint kung ano nga ba yung mga nangyayari bago ka payagang lumabas ng bansa. And to note, this video is technically based from my own experience from traveling to 14 different countries. So this could be a good way as well for you to get ready with the possible scenarios and requirements na hinahanap nga ng mga immigration officers. So freelancer ka man or hindi, I'm really sure na may matututunan kayo sa video na ito. Kaya make sure na patapusin mo ang video para sure na may maiti-take note ka sa susunod na seamless at kaba-free na travel mo. So let's start the 10 common questions that immigration gets to ask Filipinos when traveling out of the country. But wait, bago nga pala tayo pumunta dyan, let's talk first about why the immigration is doing this. Bakit nga ba may offloading? Now let's get real. Bakit ba may offloading in the first place? Ito ay hindi para takutin ka or hindi para sirain ang trip mo, but to protect Filipinos. The Philippine immigration has strict rules to shield Filipinos from human trafficking, fake job offers, and illegal recruitment. According to the Bureau of Immigration, thousands of Pinoys ang nai-involve yearly sa mga scam offers abroad. Kaya oo, minsan sobrang higpit, pero may dahilan. So let's talk about some real-life stories. Baka nakita nyo na rin ang news noong 2023. A woman was offloaded dahil sa laptop check. Wala raw COE or company ID kaya pinaghinalaan. Isa namang vlogger na pa Singapore, solo traveler. Kompleto ang documents but still offloaded dahil hindi daw convincing ang reason. Diba? Ang sakit sa feeling, nakaka-stress, pero that's why we prepare. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, so far naka-travel na ako ng 14 countries. May visa free, may visa required. And all of those are solo trips. And so far, wala pa naman akong offload record. Pero yung muntik nang ma-offload, Diyos ko, half siguro of that. May mga trip na smooth lang pero meron din yung halos mamatay ako sa kaba. So let's start. So this is the exciting part, mga tanong na halos kabisado ko na and how I stay calm sa counter. Number 1 and first should be saan ang punta? This has always been the first question that immigration officers ask me. With this, you have to be very certain of where you are going. Dapat concise, dapat direct. Kung pupunta ka ng Hong Kong, sabihin mo agad, Hong Kong. Huwag nang maraming kwento. Because sometimes, the more you talk, the more na mahahanapan ka pa ng pwede pang itanong sa'yo na maaari pang magparattle sa'yo during your question. And always make sure na you will say the final destination or yung talagang lalapagan ng aircraft mo, lalo na kung may layover ang trip mo. So just tell them about the layovers when they ask you. The key here is conciseness, but of course, dapat confident ka and friendly. So dapat mag-match ang flight details sa ticket at sa sagot mo. Madalas, kasama na rin dito yung pagtatanong kung nasaan ang return ticket. Siyempre, kung tourism ang purpose, kailangan mo naman talagang bumalik ng Pinas so they will more likely to ask for it. Have it prepared sa mga booking apps or sa email na ginamit mo. And dahil alam na nga nila kung saan ka pupunta, next question is that they might ask kung sino ang nag-book ng ticket or who financed the trip. Yes, tinatanong ito usually to make sure that you are aware on the whereabouts of the trip and to ensure as well that you have the financial and intellectual capacity to arrange your flight and trip. Kasama na rin dito kung ano yung ginamit mong payment method to pay for the ticket. Dito nila na-check kung credit card ba or via agency. So make sure na kung ikaw yung bumili ng ticket mo, just state that you did it yourself. Kung hindi naman ikaw, just confidently and honestly tell them kung sino ang nag-book. And of course, be honest na rin kung bakit hindi ikaw ang nag-book ng sarili mong ticket. Lalo na kung sa agency, kailangan nating maging clear na it was booked on your behalf by a travel agency. Ito yung chine-check ng maigi dahil madalas rin itong ginagamit ng mga recruiters abroad na sila ang nagbubook ng ticket ng mga potential hires nila. So be substantial na kung tour ang purpose ng trip, just state it properly. O kaya kumbaga may mga naghahanap ng Filipino workers na hindi naman dumadaan sa tamang proseso ng pag-hire ng mga tauhan. So technically, wala silang pakialam kung may pera ka ba or wala. Ang tinitignan nila dito kung ikaw nga ba ang nag-book at alam mo kung paano nila binook ang ticket mo para at least sure na hindi ka mapupunta sa kamay ng mga masasamang loob abroad. And next thing that they will ask you is kumpleto na ba ang hotel bookings mo or may hotel bookings ka na ba for your accommodation abroad? Of course, tatanungin nila yan kasi syempre saan ka tutuloy kung magtutour ka. In my case, never ko pa na-try na makituloy sa bahay ng kakilala abroad. So in my case as well, I always have something to show them when it comes to my hotel bookings or Airbnb. And inuugali ko na rin na hindi mag-print ng mga paper bookings. I just show them the app or the email confirmation. So next time that you travel, be sure that you have all of these planned out. And kung makikitira ka nga sa kaibigan or kamag-anak, just be sure na rin siguro na you have the proof na sa kanila ka nga tutuloy. Will be helpful rin to have the address of their home para at least mas substantial na hindi ka mawawala sa lugar at alam mo talaga kung saan ang tutuluyan mo sa ibang bansa. That way, mabibigyan mo ng assurance ang mga immigration officers na you really are secured with your stay abroad. And the next question they get to ask is the purpose of travel. Regarding this question, medyo natawa ako nung una kong travel papuntang UAE. Kasi nung tinanong nila ako, ang sinagot ko, magta-travel po. And from there, parang tinarayan ako ng immigration officer. Ang sinabi ko, magta-travel po, and she corrected me and sinabi na, Sir, kapag aalis ka po from one point to another, ang tawag doon is travel. Ang tinatanong ko po is the purpose of travel. So there, it hit me like a train. At ayun, doon ako nag-umpisang mataranta at nakitahan na ng kaba. And ayun, dahil first time ko nga, tinulungan naman niya ako. Binigyan niya ako ng options for the purpose of travel. Tourism ba? May bibisitahin ka ba? May conference? Or may specific place ka ba na gusto mong puntahan? And then ayun, every time na umaalis ako, sinasabi ko yung specific purpose of the trip. Tourism po, huwag mag-imbento ng kwento. Keep it clean. Or kung may kikitain namang friend or may business conference or may specific place na gustong puntahan, just tell them straight and upfront. And also, kapag hindi tinatanong ang itinerary, there's no need to show. Mas maganda talaga kapag concise ang mga answers and should only cater to what they are asking for para lesser complication. So with it, dapat alam mo talaga kung ano yung mga gagawin mo or bibisitahin mo sa lugar na pupuntahan mo. Kasi with it, malalaman nila kung ikaw ba ay gumagawa ng kwento or hindi. So with it, you should always be concise. Give them the answer that they need, hindi yung magpapalubag sa kanilang loob. Just be sure that you know your whereabouts. The next thing that they might check is a bank account. Oo, mas okay kung may bank certificate, pero kahit screenshot lang, okay na. Bakit? Siyempre, kailangan rin nila ng substantial proof na kaya mong i-finance yung trip mo abroad. Kasi naman, di ba, paano ka gagastos doon at mag-enjoy ng trip kung wala kang enough funds to fulfill it, right? Minsan, nakaka-bother bakit kailangan i-check. Pero after my 14 trips outside of the country for both visa-required and visa-free countries, nasanay na lang din ako to prepare my banks. So noon, lagi akong may dalang bank certificates. But nung nasanay-sanay na ako, pinapakita ko na lang ang online banking ko at inilalagin ko ito in front of them to make sure na akin nga ito. As a freelancer, it also helps kung may digital trail ka ng mga payment mo sa work. Sa akin, nagagasgas ang PayPal ko, ang Wise at mga digital trails ng payslip ko. So make sure you have all of them ready para at least alam nila na meron ka nga talagang substantial proof na meron kang income at nagtatrabaho ka dito sa Pilipinas. And the next thing that they might check is the proof na babalik ka. This is actually one of the most common questions na they get to ask. Ilang beses ko na rin itong nasagot at nalusutan, but there are multiple instances na muntik na akong hindi mapayagan na umalis dahil nga hindi daw substantial ang reason ko. But as a starter, the thing is, the return ticket should be enough to prove na babalik ka. But there are times na medyo naghihigpit sila, and it also happened to me. One time, nasagot ko na yung babalik ako, but then there is this instance na pinakalkal sa akin ng immigration officer ang messenger ko to find any trail na may conversation ako na babalik nga ako. The first thing that I did is, of course, I stayed calm and composed. Dapat confident, then ayun, I remembered na nag-asa ko sa mga pinsan ko ng mga ipapabili nilang pasalubong at nabanggit ko nga doon yung date ng balik ko. And from there, Para akong nanalo sa loto. Pagka-present ko sa I.O. ng conversation, tinatakan naman ang ticket ko. And another time was the instance when I faced the same issue. So return ticket, hotel bookings, na-present ko na lahat ng mga kailangan. Pero dahil siguro medyo unusual ang destination country ko, kaya medyo pinaghigpitan ako. So take note that the popularity of the destination is also a thing about the I.O.'s question. That time, I was traveling solo sa Georgia, the Scandinavian country. So na-present ko nga lahat. And then parang ayaw talaga akong paalisin. So I realized and took the last straw. So I told them, iiwan ko na lang sa kanila ang kotse ko. So from there, nasa parking na ang kotse dahil nag-park and fly ako. And from there, nag-smirk lang ang I.O. and ask a follow-up. So naka-park and fly po kayo, sir. Then of course, I showed them my parking ticket and the keys to the car. And ayun nga, kinuha ni sir ang ticket ko at tinatakan. It took me a while and I almost missed my flight. Ayun, fortunately, I made it. So ang takeaway natin dito is of course, dapat meron kang maayos na proof na babalik ka nga talaga sa ating bansa at hindi ka hahanap ng trabaho doon sa pupuntahan mo abroad. Wag kang mahuhulog sa mga trick questions. You just have to be honest, confident, and kailangan mong establish na uuwi at uuwi ka. Kahit anong paikot nila sa mga tanong kung maghahanap ka nga doon ng work, hindi mo dapat ito paglalaruan. Kasi for sure, one wrong answer might lead you to having your offload journey. The next thing is that, nagmamatter nga ba ang outfit? To be honest, I think medyo. Bakit medyo? Ewan ko lang ha, pero on my end, gusto ko kasi yung nagta-travel ng comfy. At bilang isang tito, what I usually wear as an airport outfit is shorts lang, shirt, and Birkenstocks or sandals. Hindi ako masyadong nagpupuporma. So kapag ganun ang outfit ko, medyo matagal ang Q&A portion. Pero kapag nag-e-effort ako manamit at feel ko talaga outfit, parang dun din yung mga times na tatanungin lang saan ang punta, then boom, tatak agad sa ticket. I'm not saying that this is a rule, pero minsan, nagmamatter nga ata talaga siya. So what I'm trying to say here is not for you to outfit ng bonggang-bongga. Just be confident on what you wear. Kasi minsan, nasa mood lang rin yan ng I.O. And since nandito na tayo sa ganitong part, may nabasa ako minsan sa forum sa Reddit na minsan medyo nagiging red flag daw sa immigration yung mga nagtutour na ang daming dalang papel. Lalo na yung mga naka-folder or brown envelope. Though ayoko naman mag-assume, but I think sa digital world, mas maigi na rin siguro na we rely on digital trails ng mga copies ng mga passes and travel docs natin. That way, mas seamless yung look, diba? Wala kang bit-bit mga papeles, but you only have your self-confidence. So the next thing that they might ask or check is your COE or Certificate of Employment. Bakit? Kasi syempre kailangan nilang i-check na meron kang hanap buhay sa Pilipinas at hindi mo kailangan maghanap ng work abroad. And this could be a challenge sa ating mga freelancers. Kasi as a freelancer, usually hindi naman talaga tayo na i-issuehan ng mga COE or other documents. In some instances, nabibigyan naman ako ng mga clients ko ng work certification. So if you can request for the same doc, you can prep it in advance at yun yung ipapakita mo sa immigration officer. Kung wala talaga, what I show them are my conversations sa clients, yung mga work group chats, and even my leave confirmation. So make sure na accessible sila at active. Ang mas maganda pag nasa phone yung conversation para mas madali mong maipakita sa mga I.O. na may nagaganap ng work digitally. It really helps kasi syempre ano pa nga ba ang ibang pwedeng gamiting proof kundi yung mga active conversations ng mga work things mo. So to cut it short, kung freelancer, show contracts, invoices, or even your Upwork or OLJ profile. And coming from that, it should be enough. Kung hindi pa sila maniwala, ewan ko na lang talaga. But at least be ready. Kung meron ka namang COE, you should prepare it in advance. The next thing that they might check is gaano katagal ang tour at sino ang kasama. As a solo traveler, ilang beses na rin nila itong natanong sa akin. I think it's their way of checking kung mag-isa ka nga ba talaga or if you're possibly meeting someone you don't know, which could signal trafficking or illegal recruitment red flags. I always say it clearly, solo po ako, and I say it with confidence. This also clears any doubts that you're not being coached or recruited to join others you don't personally know. Kasi kung tutuusin, simple lang yung tanong, but the answer helps prove that your plans are safe, legal, and yours alone. So kung mag-isa ka talaga, just own it. Being solo isn't a weakness, it's your power. Ngayon, kung may kasama ka naman, jowa, kaibigan, or pamilya, Make sure pare-pareho kayo ng story. So hindi lang ikaw dapat ang may alam, dapat lahat kayo as a group. Make it honest, dapat walang lokohan, and dapat align lahat ng mga details nyo. Saan kayo pupunta, ilang araw, ano yung activities at saan nakabook. Mas okay kung may group itinerary kayo, shared bookings at confirmations under all your names. Lalo na kung couple kayo, dapat alam nyo pareho ang details ng trip. Minsan kasi may nagiging issue kapag isa lang ang sumasagot habang ang isa ay tahimik, akala tuloy scripted or hindi totoo ang relationship. Kaya kahit sweet kayo, mas sweet pa rin ang prepared. So yun nga, I hope those questions and answers and even like the scenarios I shared are actually helpful. So next time, that's gonna be something na pwede mong i-take note when you are traveling. And here are some extra tips. Paano nga ba totally maiiwasan ang kabado vibes? Here are my go-to tips, proven and tested. Print and save digital copies. Huwag iasa sa signal. Habang nakapila ka, mag-rehearse ka mentally. Hindi masama ang mag-practice. And kung solo traveler ka naman, mas double effort ka sa proof. Don't lie. Minsan, ini-interview ulit sa boarding gate, so take note of that. And be courteous, pero huwag kang magpapaapi. Minsan, kailangan pa rin natin yung powers natin when it comes to bullies. Kasi truth be told, may mga power trippers talaga sa immigration. And nababalita nga talaga yan. So you should know how to defend yourself properly. Wag na wag ka ring magbabayad ng kahit ano dahil traveling out of the country will never require you to pay anything sa immigration. So with it, all you have to do is be self-confident. And wag na wag kang mag-overthink kasi minsan pag marami ang nasa isip mo, mas nararattle ka at mas hindi mo masasagot ang mga katanungan. So take a deep breath, face the immigration officer confidently, and just answer them honestly. And kung may isa man akong bagay na natutunan sa lahat ng biyahe ko, it's this. Huwag kang matakot, huwag kang pangunahan ng duda. We travel not just to see new places, but to grow, to breathe, and to live fully. Kaya kung isa kang freelancer na pinapangarap din ang makalabas ng bansa, handa na dapat ang mindset mo, hindi lang ang documents. Hindi mo kailangan maging mayaman or may koneksyon. Kailangan mo lang maging handa. Handa ang papel mo, handa ang sagot mo, at handa ang puso mo sa possibilities. Ilang beses na akong tinanong, ilang beses na rin akong muntik ma-offload, pero hindi ako tumigil. Kasi alam ko, may karapatan ako. So this isn't just about traveling. This is about pushing back sa sistema na minsan hindi patas. This is about standing tall kahit paulit-ulit kang questionin. This is about proving na kahit freelancer ka, kahit remote worker ka o kahit hindi ka nakabarong or corporate looking, karapat dapat ka pa ring lumabas ng bansa at ma-enjoy ang mundo. We carry our passports with pride, not privilege. So we deserve to move not because we have connections, but because we work for it. So the more we show the world how capable, honest, and prepared Filipino freelancers are, the more we shift the narrative and the more we break the bias. This isn't just a journey of me. This is the journey of all of us who dream, work, and show up. Kaya next time na dumaan ka sa immigration, smile ka lang. Hawak mo yung passport mo, pero higit sa lahat, hawak mo yung tiwala mo sa sarili mo. And once again, this is Jomar, and this is my channel, Jom, A Journey of Me. Let's keep moving forward, because freelancers like us are meant to work anywhere, explore the world, and represent confidently. So huwag kang matakot. Tandaan mo, be honest, be ready, and be proud. So once again, this is Jomar. Kung may katanungan kayo at gusto pang malaman, you can comment it down below. At kung nagustuhan nyo ang video, pwede nyo naman itong i-like. At kung gusto nyo pang matuto ng mga iba pang bagay when it comes to traveling, working from home, please subscribe. And with that, I would like to see you on your next border crossing journey with Jom, A Journey of Me.